Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. I hope you've had a good week. Right. I am so tired of what's going on in South Africa. I live in Cape Town. And at the moment, the area where I live is completely upside down. Because of demonstrations. They are not just normal demonstrations. I don't care if people demonstrate. Not a problem with that. Nothing wrong with marching down a street or a road or outside a building with your placards, singing songs, dancing, which South Africans love to do, and it's beautiful to watch. Okay? That's cool. If I'm anywhere near a demonstration that I might believe in, those kind, I'll join in. But not here in South Africa. Not a damn. The reason is because you can't just have a demonstration. You've got to have violence and destruction. You demonstrate for service delivery. Okay? That's brilliant. Service delivery is not the way that it should be. Okay? A lot of corruption, a lot of mismanagement. Okay? So service delivery demonstrations, that's cool. But you start burning tires. You start destroying the land that is around you. Okay? You make great big fires in the middle of the tar roads, okay, to block traffic. All right? You burn down traffic lights. If there's shops there, you loot the shops. Okay? Then you start throwing rocks. Now, isn't that clever? That's a brilliant demonstration. You throw those rocks, what happens? You damage cars. You hurt people. In some cases, you can even get people killed. All for a service demonstration? Service delivery demonstration? Wow, that's brilliant, isn't it? Now, in this day and age, you start that kind of crap, okay? What's going to happen? People have cell phones. People have cameras. People record. Within 10 seconds, it can be around the world. So now, your service delivery, number one, is going to cost the city and the taxpayers a whole lot of money to repair the damaged roads, because tar melts. The damaged traffic lights, because they get burnt down, so they've got to be replaced. The electrical part of them has all got to be fixed and repaired. Okay, then the street has to be the pavement or the area where the traffic light is, it has to be repaved again. The road's got to be retarred again. Okay, the shops that are looted, the people have to either rebuild and restock, which costs a lot of money. Or they move away and they don't open the shop there again, which means the people in that area are one shop less. Okay. And maybe that little shop, because a lot of these little shops, what happens is they help the people in those areas. They allow them to buy bread and milk and eggs and stuff like that on what we call Squellet, on what do you call it? You pay later, okay? They allow the people to do that because they know the people are battling for money, and they know that families have to be helped, okay, and have to be fed. So they help, their little shop is invested in that community. So now you destroy it. You steal their goods. 9 times out of 10, you'll beat up the owner as well, okay, just for fun. I mean, that's okay, that's the bottom rung. That stays within the country, within the area, okay? This area where I am in Cape Town. Problem is, once those videos or pictures hit the internet, normally it's YouTube, it could be blogs, it could be any form, Facebook. The minute it hits the internet, those things become international. And they are seen by anybody and everybody, from people that are thinking of coming on holiday to people that might think of investing, okay? And they see this rampant violence. And when they question, well, what on earth is happening? Oh, it's a service delivery. They look into it further. They find out that a bus depot was burnt down. A bus depot. Okay. Then they find out that a whole lot of buses were burnt. Then they find out that a truck was stopped and burnt and all the goods stolen. And the driver just got away with his life. Okay. And it's not the only truck. There are a lot of trucks that have been burnt. Then you'll find they're burning down municipal buildings and they're burning the trucks, the service delivery trucks. Now, the first thing they're going to say is, that's the workforce that I've got to deal with. No, not doing it. People that are here get scared. Their businesses are affected, or they might have been in a car that was stoned when on their way home or to work or going to pick up their school kids. I mean, my next door neighbor, as soon as he heard this raucous, he got hold of his wife and said, hey, you leave work and you go and pick the kids up and you get home. I could hear them from my house singing. And it was, I have no idea why or how, but they turned and they went back to where they came from. So they could have been through my area. Across is a shopping mall, okay? It's got a whole lot of shops in it, so they would have had real fun. And a lot of people would have been hurt. A lot of stuff would have been stolen. They could have thrown a stone through my front window. Would have been a bit difficult because I've got burglar bars. I mean, my place looks like Fort Knox. It actually looks like a prison, okay? When you look out and you see all the bars, that's how we live. So, your service delivery demo turns into an international disaster. We have got such a high unemployment in this country. And it's because of the violence that people are seeing or that people even go through. What happens? They disinvest from the country. Small businesses and things like that, they can't take the hammering. So what happens? They close. 10, 20 people out of work. There aren't new businesses opening to replace these businesses. So the unemployment is sky high for South Africa. And you think by demonstrating the way you are demonstrating, I mean, at one stage, there was one road out of the area that I live in. Everything was blocked off. My hubby was working the other side of town. He didn't know what was going on. I had to get hold of my son, who's working in CBD, okay, to call him, all right, and tell him to be very careful when he comes home, because he's one of these people. He just goes, okay? He takes very little notice of what's going on around him, unless there's somebody with him that points it out, okay? My son, who works in CBD, got home last night at about 9 o'clock. Tonight, he hasn't even come home. He's sleeping in town because he's afraid of, well, he normally goes by bus, okay? And then sometimes he catches an Uber home. He can't come by bus because the buses are all disjointed and they're going to be attacked 9 times out of 10. Even with people on them, don't matter. And the Uber, okay, he was just a bit afraid that they might end up in the middle of some stone throwing thing or anything. So he hasn't come home tonight. Now, isn't that lovely? Your service delivery demonstration, okay, has turned into a huge money-costing, violent, useless demonstration, because it has proved nothing except that South Africans are violent. And they have no problems in being violent. And they don't care. So what ends up? We'll end up like Zimbabwe, but very, very violent. We're destroying the economy. And once you start hitting the economy, tell you something, it's a downhill slope, racing. Because when the unemployment gets to 30, 40% of the population, and this is a big country, and there are a lot of people, and when you're hitting 30, 40% of the people unemployed, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Tell me. I mean, robberies. Last weekend, broad daylight, the people next door to me, they broke in on a Saturday midday. They broke into their home. They didn't care if people saw them. I'm right next door. People are driving up and down. It's a Saturday. There are lots of people around. They didn't care. Saturday night, about 3 houses away behind me, they used a car to rip a garage door off the garage so that they could get into the house and rob it while the people were sleeping. That frightens me like nothing else, because now it means that they have no fear completely. Before, it was nighttime. If there was a daytime robbery, it was in an area, okay, that was sort of hidden from the roads and things like that, okay? These houses where I live and my next door neighbor, the main road that goes through the area that we live in is right across the road from me. I sit and watch the cars all night go past. But they didn't care. They were fearless. If they're fearless, they're armed. Which means even if you had a gun, you are caught unaware. Okay? They know what they're doing. They're as high as kites on either what is here, what we call tikya, which is crystal meth, okay? Or they're just high on adrenaline. But they know, they're ready for whatever is going to take place, okay? They're anticipating. You there, you not thinking of anything like that. You're either asleep, okay, or you're getting on with your business. You're not thinking that somebody's going to come screaming through your door, okay, armed to their teeth, okay, and you're going to be robbed, held at gunpoint, raped, shot, beaten up, whatever, okay? So even if you had a gun, the only thing that's going to happen is that gun is going to get taken off you. Because unless you're at your front door 24/7, ready to shoot, okay, you're not going to be ready for what comes through your front door. So, robberies pick up with unemployment. And a lot of the people, this I have studied for a while, a lot of the people that are committing these robberies where they remove glass from the window, even though there's an alarm, okay, and they get in, a lot of these people are people that have been employed by glass companies that go and install glass in houses and things, so they know exactly what they're doing. A lot of them have been employed by alarm companies, so they know how to bypass these things. I don't have an alarm. I don't have beams. I don't own a gun. Okay. The only thing I've got is what we call here Spanish burglar bars. Okay. And I've got, they galvanized. Okay. And I've got galvanized steel, and I've got galvanized steel security gates by my sliding doors, by my front door, by my back door. But all my windows are burglar barred. And the sliding doors, they got windows on the side, they burglar barred as well. Everything has got burglar bars. It's what they call Spanish burglar bars, and they galvanized steel. Okay. I mean, if they want to get in, they will, but at least it'll make enough noise and give us enough time to do what? I don't know. Do something. Okay. But that is all going to get worse. When the economy takes a hit like it's taking a hit now because of these violent demonstrations, okay. I mean, it's not even a month that they were up in Joburg, okay. They were beating up and burning foreigners. And that was all because of the Nigerians. The Nigerians have got a very bad name here in South Africa. Not all Nigerians. I mean, I've had Nigerians that lived next door to me that were absolutely beautiful people, okay? Really, really good people. But 2 houses down from me, there's a whole lot of Nigerian guys living in a house, okay? 2 years ago, they were closed down because they were selling drugs and prostitution and this. And now I think they've started it up again because there's some very suspicious behavior. Once you bring that into the area, then you've got a whole different kind of thieving. Well, of thieves, okay? And the violence gets even worse because there is no guy that's involved in prostitution and drugs, okay, that isn't armed to their teeth, and everybody around them armed to their teeth as well. So you've got a whole different kind of violence there. Now in Joburg, 3 weeks ago, the people were upset about these Nigerian guys, okay, because they were prostituting girls out of their place and selling drugs and stuff like this. So the community went doolally, okay, and they became, they took it into their own hands because the cops weren't working as fast as they should be. Well, according to them, okay, I've no idea. So it turned into a massive vengeance thing against foreigners, okay. And people were chopped, and people were stabbed, and people were burnt, and their businesses were burnt down, looted. I mean, it was unbelievable. Now, this is all in 1 month. In 1 month, this kind of violence, destructive violence. You're not proving anything except how violent you are, how dangerous South Africa is, and how nobody must come and invest in the place, which ends up with nobody investing, no businesses opening, all that kind of business. So then what happens? What are you going to do? Rob people's houses, rob people's businesses? Yeah, brilliant. I mean, it doesn't solve the thing. It doesn't solve the problem of the unemployment. The only thing that can solve unemployment is for the people to sort themselves out and stop this violent business, okay? And the international community to get confidence back in South Africa, okay? I mean, this business of stoning people's cars, what on God's green earth has that got to do with service delivery? Nothing. So why do it? It's not going to get your service delivery better. In fact, it's going to become worse, because now the money that the city could have spent on upgrading and getting the service delivery sorted out in your area properly, okay, now they've got to spend the money in repairing everything and buying new vehicles and building new bus depots and replacing the buses, because those buses, okay, belong to the city. They're called My City buses. Well, the city has built the infrastructure and everything for the buses. They're supposed to be quick transit buses. They're very good, but they're expensive. Okay. I mean, we've got special lanes for them and everything, so that they can get through the traffic faster and all that kind of, they're very nice buses. Okay. Now, the money has to be spent on replacing everything that you people have damaged. So your service delivery, nobody even remembers what it was. Service delivery demonstration? No, there was violent demonstration, yeah. People internationally are calling them riots. And I've got to keep on saying, no, it wasn't a riot. It was a demonstration for better service delivery. But Sally, it looks like a riot. Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not going to defend this violent rubbish anymore, because it's indefensible. There is no reason to defend it. No reason whatsoever. You're killing the country. Okay? You're killing the country. Stop it. You destroy the economy of a country, the country is finished. Because it's the economy of the country, okay, and how strong it is, that determines the lives that the people live in that country. If your economy is messed up, the lives of the people are messed up, because the majority of the people don't have work, or they're working shorter hours because the companies can't pay them the full wages that they should, okay? So they work less hours. Less product comes out of the factories. Everything becomes affected. Everything. When things are being produced less, the price of the goods goes up, which then in turn affects right down to the loaf of bread that you buy. Okay. And then instead of being able to buy a loaf of bread every day, you can only buy a loaf of bread every 2 days or 3 days. So then what happens? The kids that go to school with sandwiches can't go to school with sandwiches anymore. Or they go to school with half a sandwich, which means then at home, nobody can eat bread. You can't have toast in the morning. You can't have a sandwich, whatever. No, you can't do that because there's no money to buy a loaf of bread a day. But you're going to have violent demonstrations because that's the way to go. You're going to show the world. You're only showing the world what fools you are. You're only showing the world how to destroy a country. Because those violent demonstrations hit the economy in every way you can think of. And when the economy suffers, the people suffer. And the sooner you realize that, the better it's going to be. And we can start rebuilding the economy. Because this way, it's not going to work. It's going to be, hello, Zimbabwe, here we come. And we're racing to get to you. That's what you want. Then you'll have to demonstrate 24/7 because there'll be nothing. What you're going to do? Kill each other. Mind you do that already. Life is cheap in South Africa. It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nobody cares about life. Nobody. I want that mobile phone you've got. How am I going to get it from you? I got a gun, I'll blow your bloody brains out. For a $20 phone or a $10 or I'm just saying it in American, okay, so that people understand. Don't matter how cheap the phone is. I want that phone. I'll shoot you for it. Yeah, that's what they did to a friend of mine up in Joburg at the traffic lights. Blew her brains out in her car for a phone that cost $5. Brilliant. This is what South Africa is. Today I heard a man, I belong to a Telegram alert group, which is run by, I think it's off-duty traffic policemen, and they alert the Cape Town motorists, okay, of what's going on the roads, and the areas of Cape Town. And today I heard a guy, frantic, on a recording that he made, sitting at a traffic lights near the airport road. Please, people, be careful. There's a man with a dark hoodie on, walking with a gun between the traffic. I'm sitting watching him now, and he's got a gun in his hand. I've contacted the flying squad. They're on their way. Don't know what happened afterwards. Don't know if anybody was shot. Don't know if flying squad got there in time. Because that's just the message that was left for anybody who might be might be at those traffic lights. Hopefully they would hear it and they'd be aware. So even stopping at the traffic lights, can't leave your windows open. Doors have to be locked. Your handbag, your keys, whatever groceries you've done must be hidden. Because if they see it, sure, you finished. They'll take it. So you have nothing. Not even a t-shirt that you might have taken off, okay, from the gym or something and just thrown on the back seat of the car. Oh, yeah. You'll have your car window smashed for that. You might even get pulled out your car. Women's handbags. Don't even let them see the handle of the handbag sticking out underneath the seat, because then they know there's a handbag there. Don't let them see your mobile phone. Don't sit at the traffic lights and talk on your mobile phone. that the kind of life that we have to live? Yes, it is. You know, I'll never forget. At one time, we were going to leave and we were going to go to Ireland, to Dublin, where my daughter is. Okay? And I thought to myself, how am I going to live in an apartment or a house that hasn't got burglar bars? I'll never sleep. I'll be so scared. Now that has taken, I've been in South Africa since 2002. Okay? It's taken 17 years. And my life is abnormal. And so is everybody else's. And you only realize it when you're going to somewhere else that is kind of normal. And you realize, hold on a minute. What am I doing? How am I going to manage living without burglar bars? Because everybody that I hear walking past, I'm going to think, oh Lord, that's a burglar. I'll be waiting for somebody to smash the window and jump in. This is what living in South Africa has done. That is my normal. You expect the violence. And you know what? You become numb to it. Yeah, for a split second, when I heard them singing and sort of coming closer, I got scared. Really afraid. Didn't last long. My eldest son came home from his job, okay? And we're sitting laughing and everything. Every now and again, we hear a bit of a weird noise and we stop and we listen, okay? Look out the window and you can see the clouds of smoke from the burning tires and all the other stuff that they were burning. So what? That's a day in South Africa. Nothing abnormal about that. That's not life. Let me tell you, it's not life. I've seen the economy going down and down and down because of the violence, because of these demonstrations that they can't hold demonstrations. They've got to end up looking like riots. They used to go to town and have massive demonstrations in town, but they were smashing up town. Look, I'm not saying everybody in that demonstration is violent, but there are enough that are violent that cause serious, serious, serious damage. And when you see a demonstration in South Africa, it starts off brilliant, okay? And then you slowly see people are starting to get agitated, a little bit more agitated, and then somebody does something, and that's it. That's it. It's on steroids. It goes from 0 to 2,000 in -2 seconds. And anybody in the way is going to catch it. Stop this violence. It's ridiculous. It solves nothing. It builds nothing good. It is not a good advert for our country. Well, actually, your country. I'm a citizen of nowhere. I belong nowhere. I can't. I don't want to. I'm embarrassed to be called South African. Embarrassed. There's nothing great about it, not anymore. Not the way things are going now. In a month, 2 demonstrations that ended up looking like wars had been, it was a war. Wars were being fought. Foreigners fellow human beings, immigrants, whatever you want to call them, for paying the price. And this is what you call freedom? No. You're holding everybody hostage. You're holding the economy hostage. You're holding the people hostage. This isn't freedom. You don't have the right to destroy property that belongs to the whole country. It doesn't belong to you. Go and destroy your own property. Why are you destroying property that belongs to the people? For what? You think the international world is going to say, oh, goody, look at these guys. They really know what they're doing. Let's all run and invest in the country. You can't run a country. You can't have an economy that does not have international investment. It don't work. Nowhere in the world has it worked. You can't trade with yourself and invest with yourself. I mean, don't even make sense. But you're killing off the country, you're killing the economy. You kill the economy, you kill the country. Stop it. Stop hurting people. You don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to throw a stone at somebody's car. You don't know what they've gone through to get that car. You don't have a car. It's not that person's fault that you don't have a car. It doesn't mean to say that because one person has a car, then the whole world must have a car. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You can't destroy other people's property and expect, okay, to get a pat on the back for it. You want to have a demonstration? Yeah, brilliant. There is nothing better than a peaceful South African demonstration. It is magical. The people, you'll see thousands of people with all their different colors, their clothing and that kind of business, okay? And they're all dancing in one flow, okay? And they're all singing and the placards and stuff. I tell you something, it gives me goosebumps to even think of it. Those demonstrations send the right message. Those demonstrations mean something. You're going to demonstrate against rape. Okay, so you go along the way while you're demonstrating, okay, or you go to demonstrate outside the courthouse because the what you call it is there, it's his trial, okay, so you're going to demonstrate. The judge and the people around look at how the demonstration is going and they listen to it, because a proper demonstration gets through. Now imagine if you go and burn down the courthouse and everything else. Nobody's going to listen to you. They're just going to think, what a bunch of pummocks. Let's find out who they are. Let's arrest them, a few of them, okay, and put them in jail. So what did you prove? Proved nothing. You neutralized a cause that needs a voice, okay, and needs attention brought to it. You neutralized all that. Because the only attention you're going to get is the violence that you carried out, which is exactly what's happened here today. And it's still going on. I don't know if it's still going on in Danun, which is just down the road from me, but in George Slovo, which is further the other side, okay, stun grenades were being thrown, okay, the army was called in, rubber bullets were being used. What was that demonstration about, Sally? Don't ask me, I've no idea. I've no idea what that demonstration was about. Was it to do with service delivery? Most probably. But all I know is about the violence. I don't know what the demonstration was about. Did you win? No, of course you didn't. Because how many of the people actually know what that demonstration is about? Not that many. Did you prove a point? Yeah, you proved a point. That you're a bunch of violent, destructive demonstrators. Did you prove a point that service delivery is really badly needed in your area? No, you didn't. Because you went and burnt a bus depot, you went and burnt buses, you looted shops, you burnt shops. What do they have to do with service delivery? Nothing. The area looks like Baghdad. So who's going to clean that up? Who's going to fix that? Not you. No ways. Municipality's going to do it. Municipality's got to pay for it. How does the municipality pay for it? Raising water, raising rates, raising every electricity, raising everything that they can possibly think of. That's how they make the money to pay for your damages. So, where's the victory in that? There's no victory. None whatsoever. And you're fools if you think there is any victory. And if EFF is behind this, you're disgusting. You're destroying a country and you're getting the people to do it for you. Where's the cleverness in that? Don't matter how highly educated you leaders of the EFF are. If this is what you got the people to do, you're fools. Every single one of you. Because you're destroying the country. And you're destroying the people. But you know what? I'm getting to the stage where I don't care. Because in this country, to get involved in politics, forget it. I tried for 5 minutes, all of 5 minutes. I got in 5 minutes, I got sworn at, I got threatened, I got insulted. In 5 minutes of making a comment, just a simple little comment. That was the day I said, who's South African politics? I'll never get involved with it. It's dangerous, it's deadly, and it's violent. And there's the proof. I'm looking at it today. So, you want to know how to destroy a country? Take a lesson from South Africans, because boy, do they know how to do it. Don't know whether any of them will ever hear this. Don't really care. At least it's out there. Because you know what? I go to bed in the morning. Tomorrow night I'll be doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing tonight. Sitting here watching. Letting the men sleep. This is my own choice. Okay, it's my own choice because I have a deep, deep fear of going to sleep at night and waking up with somebody bending over me with a gun in my head. Okay, I'm petrified of that. So what do? I stay up at night. Curtains open, lights on, I'm very visible from outside. So at least they know somebody's awake. So hopefully nobody will ever be enticed to break into the house because there's somebody alert and awake. Is it a guaranteed way to stop somebody breaking into your house? No ways. There's no guarantee, nothing. But I feel better. It's a chance I take. Other people have alarms. Other people have alarms and burglar bars. Other people have alarms, burglar bars, and beams. Other people have alarms, burglar bars, beams, dogs. And then other people will have alarms, burglar bars, beams, dogs, and electric fencing. I mean, I've seen houses here, just ordinary houses, that look like Fort Knox. They've got barbed wire, okay, rolls of the stuff, okay. Instead of having a fence or a wall, it's a wall of barbed wire, okay, with electric fence. There's been electrified, okay. There's alarms all over the place. There's beams. There's, oh dear Lord, I'm telling you. And you know what? They'll still find a way to break in if they want. There's no sure way. You can just make it more difficult for them, that's all. But anyway, yeah, I was scared. I wasn't scared for me, because I stopped being that a long time ago. I was scared for my family, for the other people that were out there. I saw something today in a video from a road that's 2-3 roads down from me, where the demonstrators, not a large number of them, the others were coming up from behind, and these were sort of the front runners, had taken one of these big green dustbins and they were pushing it down the street, and they started emptying it out and doing all sorts of stuff. And the cars were able to get past at one stage, but then there was a stage where the cars couldn't get past that, okay? And they were picking up rocks and things, getting ready to throw them at the cars. And this car was coming, and he managed to slam on his brakes fast enough, but then he had to reverse and turn to get out the way. And you know that my stomach was doing knots, because I thought, oh God, is this guy going to get away in time? I didn't know him. I couldn't even see who it was in the car. Just the thought of being confronted by this, okay, this kind of violence, and thinking, oh dear God, what am I going to do? And the period that it takes for you to stop the car, put it into reverse, turn around and get away, you could be dead. And they're right there. I can't think, I mean, even thinking about it now, my legs go weak and my stomach turns 50,000 somersaults. I mean, this is not right. Stop this violence. You can't keep on. You can't. You're killing the country. Anyway, whatever. May your gods go with you. Ciao, ciao.